Again, hello everyone. Welcome to Katalon's webinar, Stay on Productive While Testing from Home. My name is Vũ Nguyen, an advisor for Katalon since the early days of Katalon Studio. We also have a Time Nguyen, who is sales engineer at Katalon. It is our pleasure to be with you and host this event. The world now is dealing with the worst global crisis in the century, the COVID-19 pandemic. This situation has put many lives at risk and caused disruptions to businesses. Many countries have imposed measures to control COVID-19, including social distancing and lockdowns. Many of us are forced to work from home, and I'm sure many of you guys are connecting from home. Although working from home is not new to many people in the software community, doing that full time for a considerable periods of time presents many problems for companies and employees. It is important to see teams and individuals working together to adapt and maintain productivity. It is also important interest for the community to share practices and tips to cope with the situation. And that is the main reason for our webinar today. In our agenda today, I'm going to report several key results from our recent survey on the state of working from home, summarizing common challenges being faced by our testing community, drawing best practices and tips for coping with challenges in working from home. Then we'll run a tutorial demonstrating the ways Katalon helps to deal with common challenges in working from home. And finally, we will take questions from you. If you have any questions during our presentation, please leave them in the question box in the application. In early April, we ran a short survey with software community. We were trying to understand the impacts of COVID-19 on our community, challenges in working from home, and gain insight into how community handles the way of work. From that, we hope to share best practices to cope with the challenges being faced. We distributed the questionnaire for 1 week in early April, receiving answers from some 700 respondents. As you can see here, 2/3 of respondents are testers and automation engineers. Managers and team leaders are also the second most group of respondents, about 18%. This distribution is quite understandable as we intentionally distributed the survey to the testing community. And now I'm going to share several key results obtained from the survey. In terms of efficiency, the results show that working from home does not seem to affect the productivity as much as we would expect. Almost half of the respondents did not see the effect working from home, and 40 more found the effect of less than 50% on productivity. However, it is important to know that the effects may have not been realized yet, as more than 75% of the respondents work from home in less than 4 weeks. Most respondents face some difficulties in working from home, which is understandable. Almost half of the respondents reported to have difficulties with distraction, interruptions, and team collaboration. The lack of efficient infrastructure, facilities, and tools is another challenge. Teams not used to with cloud-based facilities, tools face greater difficulties in dealing with situation. It is also important to mention that the situation has caused problems for many people in balancing between the professional work and personal well-being while confining themselves in their homes. We also learned some key best practices and tips for working from home from the testing community. And here are some best practices. From the survey, we have respondents reporting that their cloud-based environment made their work much easier. The transition from office-based environment to the virtual environment in working from home was smooth and without any difficulties. It is quite obvious that our respondents reported that communication tools such as Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Skype, Slack are essential to keep them synced with everyone on their teams. Automation tools need to be integrated with code report repositories, as well as other necessary tools to enable CI/CD practices, which in turn help reduce communication overhead. While working from home, you tend to face more interruptions, distractions, which may derail the plan for the day. You therefore have to be disciplined. State your commitments and share them with your teams. And then following your commitments and try to stay synced with everyone on your teams is a good practice to follow. Katalon is an application tool, automation tool designed to make automation activities easier, including the activities related to team collaboration and integration with other tools. And now Ty will present a tutorial on several key features for those activities. Ty, please.
Okay,
please
thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you. So please change the presenter back to me. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay, I got it. So let's get started from my part. All right, so hello everyone. I'm Thai. I am a sound engineer from Katalon Studio. And so today I'm gonna talk with you about how Katalon Studio will have cope with the challenge with work from home and how we provide the solution to help you facilitate the work when you are working from home. All right, so let's go back to the reason. So normally why we need the workplace anyway. So normally work gonna be host at the workplace because at the workplace we had the environment set up for us to working, and all the licensed software that has been installed on your workplace, the computer. And also when you're at the workplace, it's also help you to connect with another people and help you to ensure the productivity of your team. So, but due to COVID-19 situation, we had to change the old style of us. So we need to move the work back to our homes. But it's also faced some challenges. For example, we cannot have the flexibility of bringing all the environment or all the licenses software or all the computer from the work back to your house, right? So that's why. So Katalon Studio is also the software to help you to facilitate your work. So Katalon right now had to adapt with the situation and it's had to involve and provide you some solution so that you can bring your work home and can facilitate and keep your productivity at its peak. All right, so I gonna go to the first thing in how Katalon Studio help you to facilitate your work when you're working from home. So the first thing is that you could easily bring in your work from your workplace back to your house. So how can we do that, right? So the first thing first is that it's easy to bring Katalon Studio to your house by the lightweight download packages and no dependency required. So what this mean? So it means that Katalon is just a zip package provided on our website, and all you need to do is just go to our website and download it and unzip, and wow, you already have the Katalon Studio at your house. And you don't have to install any dependency, no SDK required, no GDKs, no Groovy, no WebDriver, something like that. It's all been contained and packaged inside Katalon Studio. Another thing is that about the flexible of the license transfer and management. So back in the day when you had to purchase the license, the CD key, or some kind of proof that you buy the license on your computer as your work, right? So you cannot, for example, some companies still stick with your desktop, so they cannot bring the desktop back to your house. And that's why the license is being stuck in that desktop, and that's what blocked you from working from home. But no worry, so you can bring your licenses from your work back to your house and install on whatever computer that you can think of. For example, your own personal laptop, your own personal gaming PC, something like that, and you can still continue your work by using our flexible license management server offered by Katalon Studio. So just one click away to remove the license that's by to your computer at work and adding your new computer at home into the licensing server without doing anything. And for example, when talking about the license, then we also had another kind of working from home that the people not actually fall into the formal of working from home, but they split thing into multiple shift. For example, this week there are 2 QA, but the next week gonna be the 2 other person. So Catalan help you to cope with this by provide you the flexibility of adding so many people into your team. But you just need to purchase, for example, for the number of license that you need to work at the same time. So you can invite everyone from your team into your workplace in Catalan Studio server. And all you need to do, you don't have to removing or you don't have to reassigning the license anymore. So people just come to work, and yeah, there's no blockage in their connection to the Katalon tool, and they can keep testing and they can keep continue with their project from their house, right? So that's all for the part of the flexible license management. And we're gonna go to the second thing that's it could be the trend for today. That is the tech execution orchestration. So it's some niche term that being more and more popular these days. That is CI/CD, right? So back in the day, when CI/CD is not the trend, so every company had the test server, physical test server located at the company. That's when you need to do some regression tests, some smoke tests. You have to go to this test machine and you have to manually clicking running all of these tests, right? But for now, by using the CI/CD platform enable, so you don't have to do all of that manual step anymore. So all you need to do is to find some tool and try to integrate it with CI/CD tool. But we had to come to some roadblock because it's not easy to integrate your, for example, your in-house framework with your CI/CD tool. For example, Jenkins, CircleCI, or TeamCity, Bamboo, CI/CD, right? Because there are so many CI/CD tools out there, and we don't know when the new thing come, and so that it's really hard to keep changing or keep updating your framework to match with all of that CI/CD tool. So Katalon provide you an interface and some built-in plugin for those CI/CD tool. For example, all you need to do is just to open your Katalon Studio, generate some kind of command. So this is the command line interface that you can integrate with your third-party CI/CD tool. For example, in this case, I'm gonna use Jenkins to demo this. So another thing that Katalon has facilitated your CI/CD pipeline is that we already provide you the plugin for the famous CI/CD tool, for example, Jenkins, for example, CircleCI. So all you need to do is just to provide the specific version that you want Katalon Studio to run, and then paste in your command line argument and save. So your job gonna be safe, and you can execute your CI/CD pipeline from anywhere. You can execute from your house or from your laptop, from your desktop, so whatever. Okay, but for example, when your company is kind of outdated and have not adopted CI/CD yet, so what can you do? So Katalon Studio also provide you the task scheduling view. So that you can schedule your tests throughout the Katalon Studio, the interface. Right. So we kind of go to the third thing, that's the test communication. So one of the problem that come with the work from home is the miscommunication with your coworker. So for example, when you are running the test suite or you're running a test and it's generate the report, but you have no way to communicate with your coworker or your boss, so no one can acknowledge that you have the report, and they cannot know what is the result of the report, or if there has any critical bug that's attached to the report, something. Then Katalon Studio also provide you the thing called chat off. So it means that it's gonna link the Katalon Studio with your favorite chat tool that you use at work, for example, Slack. So for example, this afternoon I had just run some test suite, and it's just go into the Slack group and notify me that, yeah, you are running the Katalon test suite from Katalon Studio, and here is the total test case and how many tests has passed, how many tests has failed. And we can leverage it to another level by going to the email execution and sending the report through the email to all of your teammates or to your boss. That's the second thing that help you to keep your communication with your team. And also by using the Katalon Studio, you can connect with your Jira, some of your test management tool, for example, Jira Q-Test, and you can upload the test result or some kind of bug right up onto Jira without go to Jira and manually adding anything. All right, so that's for the reporting things. So the final thing is that something is still in beta for Katalon Studio, but you can take a look at that. So we also have some online execution report. So that means everyone in your company, everyone in your team, your organization can go into here and see what is the current situation of your project. So for example, if you're running the regression tool, so it had any critical bug or it has any issue about the performance, that could affect the system or the application and the test. Yeah, so okay, so I think that's all I have for you today for the feature of Katalon that had to cope with the situation with work from home. And right now we're gonna go to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Thai. As you know, that the Katalon Studio originally was designed to help the communities to do the automation testing easier. But over the years, we realized that integration with other tools make it more important for connecting, for integrating, and for enabling the DevOps practices today. And so you can see many features in the Katalon Studios can support us to do a lot of things that are at the very low level. Yeah, in the chat section, I see the comment from Russ Thomas saying that only 18% of tools mentioned at one of the difficulties in working from home. Yes, I think the numbers would be reasonable as in the around 40% or something mentioned about communication issues, right? So it can be issues related to tools in the communication aspect. And now we have a lot of tools available, right? Like Zoom, Microsoft Teams. Those tools are very powerful, and they have been improved over the weeks in the pandemic. Ravi Kumar asked whether the version of webinar today will be shared. Yes, we're going to be shared. Can you answer the question from Sushan Holland?
Yeah, okay. So if the option to add tests to be available on the Katalon free version, so yeah, you can add your test into the test suite both on the free version or on the enterprise version. So it's the basic feature of Katalon Studio. All right. So there is another question regarding to the chat of require enterprise license. So yeah, no, because it is a free plugin for Catalan Studio. So then you can go to our marketplace and download the plugin and use it. There's another question that's is there any formal testing for Catalan other than YouTube video? So yeah, we have the official document on our website, and also we are uploading new content every day. All right, so from where you can download? All right, so you can go to our official website www.catalan.com and go to the download button, and you can download Catalan Studio from there. We had another question. So can you customize the report email content? So yeah, you can go to the Katalon Studio and you can, you can change the report email content. Like you can go to the setting and you can go to the template and you can modify the report email content as you want, like based on your team need. All right. So another question I have is that how to create multiple listener for the single project. So yeah, we have the test listener right here. So you can create the test listener and adding the after before method of the test suite based on your need. Can the test be exported? Yes, you can export the test dependency. For example, you can export the test case is for the object repository so that you can reuse it in another project. So all you need to do is just go to the tools utility and export the test artifact. You can see you can export the test case, test object, the profile, and the custom keyword, and you can import it back into another project, right? So what kind of report you can generate in Katalon Studio? Yeah, you can generate the HTML report, the cucumber report, or the the CSV or the PDF. And also, if you are using the enterprise version, you're gonna have the JUnit report too. So is Azure DevOps integration easily? Yeah, so you can contact with our customer support team because it should be able to run out right off the box. All right, there's a lot of questions.
I think this is the question to consider whether Katalon Studio is important for developers.
Yeah, I think because of the SIP lab trend today, because for example, in the software development lifecycle, we are focusing, using the new principle, for example, test first and something like that. So we are no longer waiting for everything to be developed and integrated, and then we're gonna test after that part. No, we no longer doing that, and we are trying to shifting to a much more agile testing approach. For example, you're gonna test is in the development phase. So how to do that? For example, when you want to commit your code and your automated test is gonna run to ensure that there's no conflict in the integration. So Katalon Studio or the automation testing for the whole, is born to serve that sole purpose. So yeah, so the developer, because now we have the term that developers should know about the test and the testers should know about the coding. So Katalon Studio is more for a service two of the need. So it's easy for the developer to go into code, and for the codeless interface, so it also have the QA who don't know about the coding to um, get into the automation easily.
I also want to add here is that Katalon Studio supports capabilities for API testing, which is very important for us to test the web services and so on. So developers need to test the web services before the release. They can use the Katalon Studios in order to do so.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, actually there's a lot of question. Okay, so I gonna go through some questions. So do you have online tutorial? Yeah, you can go to YouTube and search how to implement, how to get you to Catalan Studio. If you are the company, your enterprise protects, the enterprise user, you can directly contact Catalan Studio, and we can offer you some, meeting, some call to clarify what you need. So you can use Java, not just only the Groovy, but you can also use Java to coding in Catalan Studio.
There's a question about the Azure DevOps.
Yeah. All right. So I think that I had tried to answer, but okay. So Azure DevOps should be able, should be able to integrate it easily, because we also offer the plugin built in already in Azure DevOps. But if you have any difficulty, please contact Katalon team, and we can reach out for you for that. All right. So another question about the security concern when working from home. I think that's the question for you, and
Yeah, security concern. You have seen a lot of articles discussing about the securities of tools like Zoom, right? Um, when working from home, tools like Zoom or Microsoft Teams also have security concerns like that. It's quite difficult for those companies to address the problems related to security. I'm not sure what direction is going to be in the future, but they are trying to fix the ways by educating the users to be more cautious about the tools they're using. And they add some features like preventing preventing presenters from easily sharing the screen or things like that. So that can be a one way to address. Just only a few days back, we have seen the security updates from Zoom, add in the features called security, and then in the security feature, you can change options, whether you allow the participants to automatically join the session or whether you allow the participants to show their desktops or not. So those are the features the companies designed to prevent the problems related to security.
Yeah, thank you, Anvu. So yeah, there are a really interesting question about how smart we work in Catalan. Yeah, so actually it's some injection of JavaScript into your we kind of have the add-on for the session that's run on Chrome, and that add-on gonna be checked on the DOM on there is either any any not synchronization happen on the web page when we are interacting with it. So it is some kind of algorithm that on the Catalan team that define that whether is the located object has been shown correctly, and that's gonna reduce your effort into adding the explicit or implicit way. For example, wait for another object to present, or adding some delay, and it's cost you some flakiness of your test. And either way, recurrent playback to get around SSL VPN when we are away from home. All right, so it's easy. So you can add some design capability so that it can get fast, or contact with your IT team, and they can whitelist some of the licensing server of Katalon Studio when you connect it through the VPN. can you get the report when running in command line mode? So yeah, you can get it. So it's still full report when you are using the command line mode. Okay. Which language should you know to use Katalon Studio? Yeah, the language that you should use when you're using Katalon Studio is Java or Groovy. So basically, Groovy is some superset of Java. So you can use Java or you can use Groovy. So you can make use of this easy syntax. It just look like Python. Can user execute the API test case using scripting? Yeah, you can. So you can switch to the scripting mode and adding the API object. And we already provide the keyword to calling the API object already. So for example, like this, and we also have the so send request, and you're adding the API object right here. So it's simple, right? So just another drag and drop. Yep, like this. Yeah, and you already get your API object in scripting mode. All right. How do you contact us? Yeah, so you can go to the page katalon.com and you go into the pricing tab, or you go to the support tab or the pricing tab, and you can go right in here to reach out to us by contact sales. So provide you information and then we can reach out to you, or actually you can directly book the call. So for example, so for example, you can directly book a call with our sales expertise, and then we can go on to the call with you and discuss about how you can utilize your Katalon Studio at your solution automation solution. All right, show the smart way dialog setting. Yeah, so you can go in here and see. So you can default to enable the smart way or disable it. So lots of questions. Hello, Anh Vũ. Do we have
You still have a time, go ahead.
all right. Okay, so can you use C#? So currently you cannot use C# for the time being. So okay, how to easily have command variable across multiple profile. So yeah, you just define your variable across the profile. So you have to add it in the profile itself, or you can use the script view. So you can copy and paste into another profile. So that's gonna be faster than manually adding it by using the manual view. What version of Chrome do we need to use? So yeah, you can use whatever version of Chrome, but please, using the match Chrome driver version.
A question about the use of record playback. Is there a way in record playback to get around SSL and VPN since working from home?
Yeah, so I think this is more about the setting of the VPN. So when they are using the VPN, they already connect to the IT, connect to the company network. So for example, maybe because of the, some kind of certification that they cannot bypass the licensing server. So Catalan cannot connect to the licensing server, so we cannot uh, execute the test. So they can, go to the project setting tab and adding some key store for, insert the certification testing setting, and so that they can bypass the, firewall or the VPN. But for the key store, they need to contact the IT, so that they're gonna have the information for them to get fast, so that they can get around with SSL and VPN. So for the time being, so Catalan haven't yet support the XFAT 2.0. So on the the roadmap for this year, uh, so we didn't have. But for example, when you're trying to using regex, so regex is supposed to be work because you can implement it using the custom keyword. So Catalan is freemiumware, so that means we have both free version and the paid version. Answer for the question, Catalan is freeware or paid version?
Is there a way for Katalon to bypass a captcha during the test?
Captcha. So actually the captcha is born for, prevent the automation scripting to penetrate the website. So actually if you are testing within your company, please ask your dev to turn off the captcha, or we can work around some, by using some OpenCV or something, but I don't recommend that because it's really flaky, and the test automation end to end is already flaky itself, and you shouldn't do, that's kind of hardworking. Just contact your dev and asking them to turn off the capture feature when you're doing the test automation. But you can do that, capture testing by manual testing. You cannot 100% replace manual testing using the automation testing anyway.
I have a question from Narendra Reddy on whether Catalan is a freeware or a paid version. Yeah, Catalan is a freeware, right? Then you go there to download the free version to run, but there are additional paid plugins. So if you want to add those plugins, you should pay more. But like those plugins, many coming from our partners, not from our team.
Yeah, so actually we had time for 1 to 2 more questions because before we end it, so I will try to answer some really interesting questions. So it is possible to fetching data from database real time? So yeah, you can. We offer the keyword and packages for you to do that in real time anyway. So when you're running script, so it's gonna be fetching the data. When you're using the GUI, for example, you're creating test data test, test data, and it show you the database on the test data itself. For example, this database data. So it is not the latest, but you can use our keyword to get the latest whenever you run the test suite or test cases. So it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, okay, so this is funny. So for the example of the self-healing locator, all right. Actually, we don't have the the system under test that have the broken locator, but I can show you how Katalon captures the test object. And all right, so we got it here. So for example, Katalon will try to capture a lot of expert based on different, attribute. So for example, when the expert failed to locate the locator using this expert, it's gonna be, moved down to another expert, and it's gonna move down, move down, move down. And also we provide, the last resort gonna be using the image to locate the object. And yeah, normally, is the worst case scenario, we still can locate the object using the image of the object itself, because when you are spying the web object, Katalon offer you the capability to capture the object using the image itself. So underneath the hood is the OpenCV, but yeah, so I has enabled image recognition right here. And yeah, but actually I don't have any object that's using the image right now. Okay.
All right, thank you very much for attending our webinar today. The slides and the video will be distributed to you after the event. I hope that you are going to be well. We will get over the greatest event, greatest pandemic in history, in the century. We hope that everything is going to be well in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and one more thing, if you want to have the question, please contact our Katalon team, and yeah, we can reach out to you soon. Thank you, everyone.